Hello, hello, Nick. Good morning. How are you?
I am doing great, Viola. How are you?
I am very good, Nick. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here again with Nick Kidawski and Paola Ripoll. This is the five show we are doing together. Every Sunday together, we are doing this show and we are helping people using the emotion code with different topics. Do you want to
Yeah.
tell them the today's topic, Nick? Hello, everyone. Thank you for being. Okay.
So everyone, today's topic is going to be releasing trapped emotions for healthy parents and healthy kids. So what I'm going to be talking about is I'm going to be talking about trapped emotions and how parents can have them. And then Viola, you're going to be talking about kids and how kids can have trapped emotions as well, right?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. I will be talking in today's show about kids. We have not been working with kids. Well, guess what? Today we are going to work with kids. Nick is going to choose one volunteer that will be a mom or a dad, and I will be choosing one kid to work with. Kids, they can have a lot of things. So if you are a mom or a father, start thinking if you want us to help your kid. We're going to work with emotion code with you and your kid. We're going to connect with proxy. Remember that proxy is distant connection. You can be in any part of the world because Nick and I, we have clients all over the world. And of course, with intention, and with help from above, we're going to connect with you and we are going to connect with your kid to help it. I will be talking about the prenatal trap emotions today.
Yeah, Viola, I think it's going to be a really, really good show.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. Of course, I am sure. So remember that if someone needs help today, it's very important for us that you write us your name and your age. So it's how we help you. Something is going on with you. Also, you can write. I mean, we don't need to know the story. That is awesome when we use the emotion code. But I mean, in one word or in two three words, you can tell us. So we will know exactly how we can help you. And of course, with me, you can tell me because I'm going to choose a kid the name of your kid, the age of the kid, the severity, and also the issue, because there are different things that I can work with today with the kids. Could be like, for example, behavior or eating habits, or only the prenatal trap emotions that they trap in the womb of the mom. So we are going to be very happy to help you.
Yeah, and so I'll be working with the parent of the child, and if you could let me know your age, that would be great. And then I think what I'll do is go ahead and test the parent for a heart wall, which I'll be talking about that a little bit later on. And then I'll be testing the parent to see if they have any inherited trapped emotions
Mhm.
that they have given to their child, and I'll be working with releasing some of those.
Of course. Yes, yes. Of course. Hello, Cecilia. How are you? Hello, Carla. Thank you for being here. If you need help yourself and your kid, only type your name, your age, the name of the kid and the age, because we are going to choose one person each to work with today.
Yeah, and you know, Bela, I think this topic that we're doing right now is so important, because I think, well, kids are obviously like our next generation, right? So, we want them to be as healthy and as happy as they can be.
Of course. Yes.
And, um, for the parents, I think that the more that they work on their own self-development and their own healing process, then the better parent they can be for their children, and that'll just create like an awesome ripple effect. Because then when their children, well, if their children then have children, they will have a great parenting example to go by.
Absolutely, yes. You know something, Nick? I'm working with one mom, and that this is awesome because I'm working on her and I'm cleaning her heart wall. But she has decided cleaning the heart wall of the three kids that they have. You know, the smallest one that she has is 9 years old, and it's awesome. And also, the kids they love working with me, and something that is really nice is that they have learned how to muscle test. For
Oh,
kids,
awesome.
so easy. Yes, they have learned how to muscle test. And I told them that is very nice that they have learned. I have seen that for kids learning how to muscle test is so easy. And I explained them that they can that they can muscle test to ask what is good for their bodies. I mean, what's good for them, what's good for their bodies. So it's so nice that these three guys, they have learned to muscle test.
Yeah, that is so cool, I mean, I learned to muscle test, geez, probably a good like 15 years ago. But yeah, I mean, wow, if I would have learned to muscle test at like 10 years old or whatever,
Oh, yes, yes,
that would have been like so helpful.
yes, exactly. Very helpful. Yes, very, very helpful. Yes, of course.
Yeah, that's a great gift to give someone.
Yes. So, what do you think if I go on and I will start explaining about the prenatal trap emotions and the kids, or do you want to start?
If it's okay with you, I can go ahead and I'll talk about parents,
Wonderful.
and
Yes.
then you can talk about kids,
Yeah.
and then I can start to work with the parent, and then you can like explain, maybe something about the emotion code while I'm working with them, and then, we'll switch off.
Wonderful. So go ahead. Wonderful.
Okay, awesome, awesome. All right, so I'd like to go ahead and just maybe start with a little humor. I think humor is always good on a Sunday morning. So this is from comedian Rita Rudner, and what she says is, "I want to have children, but my friends scare me. One of my friends told me she was in labor for 36 hours. I don't even want to do anything that feels good for 36 hours." So there you go. I think that sums up being a parent pretty well. Okay, so um, being a parent, one of the things that I think is so important for parents to release is to release their heart wall. So you might be wondering, like, what's a heart wall and why should I even care? Well, what a heart wall is it's a literal wall or thick layer of trapped emotions that you build around your heart to keep your heart safe, to keep it from being hurt. And the creator of the emotion code, Dr. Bradley Nelson, he says that 97% of people in the world have a heart wall. So as a parent, when you were being raised and when you were being brought up, it's very, I'm guessing that it's very common for you that you had some very challenging or stressful or even traumatic experiences growing up. And when you have had those experiences, if you haven't been able to release the emotions that you felt in those experiences, then those emotions had to go somewhere. And so one of those places is that they can get stuck or trapped around your heart. And when you have that wall of trapped emotions and you have a child or you have several children, as a parent, you want to send your children as much love as they can take, you know? But when you have this wall of trapped emotions around your heart, what happens is that the pure love that you want to send your child, that love has to go through a past trapped emotion of maybe fear, and then hopelessness, and then anger, and then shock, and then anxiety, and then worthless. And then that love that you want to send your child comes out on the other end as this distorted message, this distorted energy that your child then receives. So having a heart wall can cause miscommunication between you and your child. Another thing with the heart wall too is that it can prevent you, or it can like maybe dull the love that you feel for your child, because again, you have all of those trapped emotions built around your heart. So, um, this heart wall can be formed from experiences that you've had with your parents when they were bringing you up. It might have been formed from experiences that you had with authority when you were a child. Um, and it might have just been due to experiences that you had with your upbringing. So once you get that heart wall released, then you'll be able to feel that pure love for your child without that wall of trapped emotions around your heart. And you'll be able to feel a stronger and a deeper connection with your child. So I think as a parent, getting your heart wall released um, is probably the most important thing that you can do for yourself to help to improve the relationship, the bond that you have between you and your child. So, if this is making sense for you right now, as a parent having a heart wall, if you could just maybe go ahead and type one into the comments to let me know, that would be great. So, the next thing that I would like to talk about are inherited trapped emotions. And the way that works is I'll give you an example. If my great 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 grandmother had an emotion that she was never able to release, that emotion can get passed down the generational line until it gets passed to me. And then I am holding on to that inherited trapped emotion. So that inherited trapped emotion goes from my great 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 grandmother to her parents and children, and then to her parents and children, and then to my parents, and then on to me. So what can happen is that as a parent, you can pass these inherited emotions from your parents or from your ancestors onto your children. And then your children will be holding on to those trapped emotions 24 hours, 7 days a week. And that might be contributing to their bad behavior. It might be contributing to their bad attitude, to their anxiety, maybe to their difficulty sleeping. So it's very important to find these inherited trapped emotions that you have as a parent and get them released. And when the inherited trapped emotions are released from a parent, if they've passed those on to their children, then those inherited emotions are automatically released from their children. So what's so awesome about that is that you're literally um, changing your family tree so that generations moving forward do not have to hold on to these trapped emotions, and they can really be free of them so that they can be the person that they want to be, and so that they can create the life that they want to create. So I really can't emphasize the importance of this enough is for a parent, number one, to get your heart wall released, and then number two, to go ahead and to get these inherited trapped emotions released, not only from yourself, but from your children as well. So, again, if this is something as parents that you can relate to, go ahead and just type a 1 in the comments, and that'll let me know that this information is making sense for you. All right. So I wanted to mention one last thing here, and that's the concept of a broken heart. So when I have when I've worked with parents before, what can happen is, again, going back generationally, if one of your ancestors had an experience that broke their heart, you know, maybe it was a divorce, maybe it was a birth, you know, that didn't go well. Maybe it was some sort of passing in the family, and that broke their heart. If they were unable to heal their heart, the energy of that broken heart will get passed down the generational line to the parent. And then that parent will be holding on to that energy of having a broken heart. And so, as a parent, that is going to affect how you relate with your partner. And that's going to affect how you relate with yourself. And that's also going to affect how you relate with your children as well. So when I've been working with parents to release their heart wall, I have found an inherited broken heart that the parent has. And this inherited broken heart, I usually find that energetically their heart is broken into two pieces, three pieces, or sometimes four pieces. And so what I'll do in that case is I'll identify specific trapped emotions that are causing that broken heart. And then once the last trapped emotion is identified and released, then the pieces of those energetic broken heart come back together and the heart is whole. And so, as you can imagine, that radically shifts how the parent feels about themselves, their attitude, their partner, and how they treat their kids. So, again, that's something that is also really, really important to look at and to heal as well. So, um, yeah, that's pretty much what I have for you on working with parents and the heart wall and inherited trapped emotions. So, Paola, if you want to go ahead and talk about kids,
Yes,
that would be
yes, of
awesome.
course, of course, of course. So, hello everyone. Thank you for being here today. I'm Paola Ripoll, an Emotion Code certified practitioner that works in English and Spanish, the owner of Paola Healing. I'm very happy to be every Saturday here at 12 o'clock Central Time with Nick Kidawski and doing together this show and helping people doing this show. Today I'm going to talk about the prenatal trap emotions, and also remember, I'm going to choose one volunteer. Today I'm going to choose a little girl or a little boy to work with. As a parent, mother or father, what you can give me is permission. It's the way I will connect with your kid and work with your kid, and I will go explain. I'm going to explain the prenatal trap emotions. Well, uh, first of all, as Nick has explained about the heart wall, of course, the heart wall, we build a heart wall of everything that is related with pain. When we feel that our heart it's broken, or we feel, some people, they say that they feel like very heavy, the heart, or some people, the heart wall, we build the heart wall to protect our heart wall to be broken. So you, as a mother, as a father, Nick has explained, you can build a heart wall, but kids also, they can build a heart wall. For example, in my experience, I have seen kids, well, they can born with the heart wall, because it could be like they absorb like an emotion from the mother, and they born with a prenatal heart wall. But also, at the same time, they can build a heart wall when they are very little. Not everyone, but someone. I have seen, for example, for some kids, that it has been like very traumatic for them. The trauma that we have, and as an adult, always we say that is different of the trauma that a kid can have, but it's exactly the same. The difference is that we are adults and they are kids. For example, I have when I work with kids, I have seen that sometimes they have horrible trap emotions because they were having, for example, a toy that they like so much, that toy, and a friend has stole the toy. Something like that. I mean, something that we can say it's something that is very simple. Yes, can be very simple for you when you are an adult, but that is something that is very traumatic for a kid. Also, I have seen some kids that they build like some horrible trap emotions. For example, when we are a mother, and this is a very interesting thing that I'm going to share. For example, I work with one kid that I was releasing the hardwall, and then I found a hardwall. He was with the mother when I was working with him. And then one hardwall trap emotion that I found on him is the mother and the father, they are divorced. And that emotion that I found is that one day he had a very bad behavior. And the mother told him, if you still having this behavior right now, I'm going to call your dad and I'm going to send you with your dad. So he was crying. He was so scared. I mean, that wasn't true, but the mother told him that. And he was having some horrible trap emotions related with that situation because it was very traumatic for him. Also, it can be a little kid that is at school and one guy punched him, and then they go to the floor, or they roll down the stairs, and they build horrible trap emotions. I mean, the kids, they can build a trauma, horrible trap emotions of a lot of things that they can happen when they are little, but also it could be inherited Harwell and prenatal Harwell. Well, I'm talking right now about the prenatal trap emotions. Prenatal trap emotions are when you are a mother and you are pregnant, perhaps you go through some stuff or some traumatic events when you are pregnant. I mean, I can give you a lot of examples. Could be that, for example, someone you love had an accident, or someone you love has passed away, and then you felt so sad, or you felt some kind of anxiety. Normally, when someone that we love pass away, we feel like a lot of pain over the heart. And a lot of times when that happened, and sometimes I have seen that it could be a person, but also it can be a pet. So someone I have seen that you build, I mean, you don't build because you trap one emotion in the heart wall, because we have different layers of emotions over the heart wall. So you trap one more of the emotions to be part of the heart wall. Also, I have seen, for example, women's that they are pregnant and they got abandoned by the partner, or they got pregnant and then the partner didn't want to take care of the kid. So that is very traumatic. And the babies that the woman is having inside the womb, like a little sponge, because remember that everything is energy. I mean, we are energy. The water that I have here in this bottle is energy. The flowers are energy. Everything is energy. Absolutely everything is energy. So your baby, as a little sponge inside your womb, will trap some emotions there. And those are the prenatal trap emotions. Normally, when I work with my clients and I release emotional baggage that is trap emotions, and I find a prenatal trap emotions, always I tell them, if your mom is alive, ask your mom if she has felt this way when she was pregnant. This normally occur in the third trimester. Normally at the third trimester is when the babies absorb the prenatal trap emotions. So always I say, ask your mom if it's alive, if she felt this way. And when they have a mom that is alive, they ask the mom, and they say, "Oh my God, yes, I didn't knew that, but my mom told me that yes, she felt that way because this reason when she was pregnant." So it's very important to release the prenatal trap emotions. Why? As well as the inherited. I love when I work with a client and they show up. Why? Because we born with that. I mean, with the inherited, we born with that, and with the prenatal is exactly the same. We born with that. And if we release the inherited, and if we release the prenatal trap emotions as a younger age, is wonderful and it's awesome. So that's one of the reasons that today I'm very happy to work with kids, and I'm going to choose one. For example, for my clients, when I find the prenatal or the inherited, I say, thanks God that this has shown up. Why? Because one person that borns in a generation cuts with that. Cuts with that. I mean, cuts with inherited. With the prenatal, you cut with the prenatal, because if you don't release the prenatal trap emotions, for example, I was having a lot of prenatal trap emotions that, of course, I released for myself, but at an older age. Why? Because I didn't knew that before. So when we release these from the kids, it's very nice. So today I'm going to be choosing one kid. And as a mother and as a father, it's very important that you hear what I'm going to say right now. Of course, I can work with anything. If you have like 3 issues going on with your kid, you can write me the 3 issues, and I can muscle test. I can ask the higher self what is of the kid, what is the priority to work today, and I'm going to be releasing in that topic prenatal trap emotions. For example, I have experience working with kids when they have rashes and eczema. The emotion code works very good for that. Also, perhaps it can be that you're having problems with your kid because eating habits. Perhaps you want your kids to eat more veggies, but is eating a lot of chocolate, of a lot of candies, or it don't like at all vegetables, or it don't like a lot fruit. Could be also stubbornness, that now your kid is very stubborn. It could be that you are not having a very good relationship with the kid. Could be that the kid is swearing a lot. Could be that is having a lot of anger. It's a kid that was very sweet, but now it's having a lot of anger. Or perhaps could be that the little one is having anxiety, or also could be that is having a lot of fears. I mean, fear of everything, because it can be fear of heights, fear of the water, fear of fire, fear of insects, fear of sleeping alone. Perhaps it's a little one that has learned how to go to the bathroom and pee, but now is peeing in the bed. So, I mean, it can be anything. It could be that you have a very bad relationship with your kid. So please tell me how I can help you. Write the name of your kid here and write me the age. Obviously, I'm talking about kids, and when I talk about kids, I talk about kids that are under 18 years old. Because for some parents, they say, "Oh, it's my baby, it's my kid, and it's 40." So, as a parent, as a mother, you can give me permission to work with your kid if it's below 18 years old. And let's see, Nick, have you choose one volunteer already today?
I have Paola, yeah. So it looks like
Oh,
Anna, she would like us to work with her,
mhm.
and it looks like she has a daughter, Maria, who is 3 years old.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah,
Okay, okay. So you are going to choose Anna. That is what I understand. You are going to choose Anna, and then I will choose, or who you told me that you are going to choose to work
yeah.
with.
So I'm gonna go ahead and work with Anna,
Okay.
and then she has it looks like she has two children here that if you wanted to work with them,
Yeah.
if that works for you.
Yes, wonderful. Yes, of course. Yes, I love doing this because then we work with the same family. So you
Exactly.
and I'm going to choose one children. Awesome, awesome. Yes, yes.
Okay, great, great. All right, Anna. So I'll go ahead and I'll work with you. Like I said, what what I'll do is I'll check you to see if you have a heart wall, to see how many feet thick it is, and then I'll see if there are any trapped emotions that I can release for you that are inherited that you have passed on to your children. So while I'm doing that, uh, Paola, maybe if you wanted to explain how the emotion code works while I'm doing that, that would be great.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so both Paola and I, and by the way, if you are a parent and you know parents that have kids, um, and you want them to be the best parent and be the best kid that they can be, um, and emotion code is something that you think might fit for them. Both Paola and I, in our private practices, we offer a 30-minute introductory emotion code session. So if that's something that you are interested in, or a parent is interested in for them and their child, just go ahead and you can send us a direct message here on Facebook. You can send us a message through this uh, Facebook page that you're on right now, Nick and Paola's Breakthrough Show. Um, we also have our own personal business page as well. Mine is Cultivate Wellness. And Paola, yours is just Paola Healing. Is that right?
Yes, it's correct. Thank you.
Okay, great, great. And then for me as well, I have a website which is cultivatewellnessnow.com, which you can also check out. And you can also you can email me, you can contact me through there. So um, both Pale and I, we don't believe in working alone. So we like to get as much help as we can. So what I'll do for you, Anna, is I'll just go ahead and for a couple of seconds here, I'll say a little prayer, just get some help from up above, that this is a uh, very productive and a really great session for you. So for everyone watching, if you can maybe take a couple seconds too, and just say a little prayer for Anna if that's your thing. So I'll go ahead and I'll do that right now for you, Anna. Okay, there we go. So, Anna, I'm just going to energetically connect to you here. So I'm going to ask, can I get a yes? May I yes? And should I yes? Okay, great. So, like I said, Anna, I'm going to go ahead and test you to see if you have a heart wall, how many feet thick it is. And then I'm going to test you to see if you have inherited trapped emotions that you have passed on to your children. And then I'm going to go ahead and release a couple of those for you. And, as I'm working with you, Anna, Viola will kind of explain the whole emotion code process and how it works.
Well, I'm going to explain here. I'm going to explain this. I'm going to explain the emotion code. Here you can see the emotion code book that is written by Dr. Bradley Nelson. Well, Dr. Bradley Nelson is a person that has developed this energy healing modality. And what I want to explain today are the 7 keys of emotion code, because then you are going to understand how it works. Number one, when we work with emotion code, we don't need to work with our clients in person. We do it by proxy. What means working by proxy? Well, working by proxy means distant connection. This means that, for example, Nick is right now in Colorado. I am in Mexico City, and you can be in any part of the world. You can be in America, you can be in Asia, you can be in Europe, you can be in any part of the world, and we can energetically we can connect with you by proxy to work with you. Right now, for example, Nick is connecting with Ana Cecilia. Will be nice to know where in which country you are, Cecilia, and in which country everyone that is watching today they are. So Nick, with energy and with intention and with help from above, is energetically connecting with Ana Cecilia to work. So this is distant connection. Then, to work with someone, what we need. This is something that's very important that we learn when we use emotion code, and is this. We need permission. To work with you, you need your permission. Why? Because we are going to connect with you. We are going to connect with your energy, and you are the only person that you can allow us and give us permission to work with you. If you have kids that they are under 18 years old, of course, as a mother and or as a father, you can give us permission to work with your kids. If you have a family member that is very sick in the hospital, you as a family member, well, then of course you can give permission. So, with your permission, and we need, when you give us permission, we need something that we call the Wi Fi connection. What's the Wi Fi connection? What we are asking in this show for you. We ask your name and we ask your age. Giving us your name and age, that's the Wi Fi connection. And then we know that you are giving us permission to connect with your energy. Is not a good practice. I mean, at least it's something that I will never do, because sometimes we want to help others. And sometimes we say, oh, my mother or my father or my sister or my brother or my husband, my boyfriend, whoever you want, is going through a very sad situation or is having this issue. Can you help this person? Because normally we want to help others. Yes, we can, but if we have the permission of that person, not because you decide. Why? Because we work with the energy of the people, and that's the way we connect. Then, the other key of emotion code that always we like to ask is this. And this is severity. from 0 to 10. Let me give you a very easy example so you will understand. Let's say that we are working with you and you have physical pain. Let's say that you have physical pain in your lower back. Well, always Nick and I, we will ask you, can you please tell me what's the severity that you are having from 0 to 10? 10 is very severe. In this example will be that pain that you are having in your lower back. 10 is extreme pain. Some people say I have pain of 10 and above, imagine. But 0, of course, if it's 0, you will not be asking help because 0 is nothing. So to track the severity always is very, very important. Also, I like to track the severity with emotions. When I'm working with anxiety, with sadness, depression, anguish, etc., always I like to test the severity and I ask for the severity. Then after the severity, well, how we know, and let me show you, let's see where I have it, how we know exactly what is that we can release from you. Well, number one, here I'm going to show you this chart. This is the emotion code chart. You can see that here we have 60 basic emotions. These are the 60 main emotions. So what we are going to be asking is, if you have a trap emotion that is contributing with the issue that we are working, with the pain, with the anguish, if you have a horrible trap emotion, if you have an inherited one, if you have a prenatal one, if you have a psychic trauma, etc., etc., etc. There are different type of how we call the emotions, but the emotions are in this chart. So we are going to ask which is the emotion that you have, and we are going to release it. Who answers us what is the trap emotion is your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is this big intelligence computer that knows absolutely everything. And to make it short, the trap emotions is energy from the size like this, like an orange, that is lodged in different parts of the body. Let's see that you have shoulder pain. So the trap emotions will, it's going to be here in the shoulder. And when we call, when we ask, when we work with this pain and we ask if you have a trap emotions and we muscle test, and the answer is yes, we ask which one, and then with our hand over the governor meridian or with a magnet over the governor meridian, we can release the trap emotion from your body. Trap emotion is basically negative energy that we trap at different age, that can be also inherited, can be also prenatal, and we release. How we muscle test? Well, Nick and I, we use our hands. If you want to know more about muscle testing, you can Google that. But I mean, muscle testing or apply kinesiology. I use my hand. Every answer that is a yes, my hands, I use the ring and ring method, will say, for example, it's my name, Paula. Yes. It's my name, Nick. No, it's not. So we muscle test and we ask your subconscious mind what we need to release today. And well, I told you already about the magnet, and it's very important for us to be hydrated. That's the reason that you are seeing Nick and I that we drink a lot of water. So these are the 7 keys of how we use emotion code.
All right, Paola, thank you very much. That was great. Thanks for explaining that.
So you have worked already with Cecilia, with Ana Cecilia.
Yes, yes, I have.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So, what I'm going to do, Cecilia, is that I cannot work at the same time with with Ivana and Emiliano because they are different persons. So I'm going to
Paola, sorry to interrupt you. I'll just go ahead and explain really quick for Anna what I found and what I released for her.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, Anna. So I worked with you, and I found that you did have a heart wall. Again, this heart wall, it's going to be trapped emotions that you've built around your heart, like an energetic wall, or kind of like a fortress around your wall, or around your heart, rather, in order to go ahead and to protect it. So again, 97% of people in the world have a heart wall. And what's really cool is that when you get your heart wall released, that automatically puts you at the 7% of people in the world that don't have a heart wall. So that's really, really awesome. So again, you do have a heart wall. I found that it was 2,100 feet thick. So I know that this sounds like a lot, but it's pretty normal for what I find with people when I check their heart walls. So again, being a parent, I would really strongly recommend that you get that heart wall released as soon as possible. So I did find some inherited trapped emotions here that you do have, that you got from your ancestors, and that you passed on to your children. And so it's important to note that when I released these inherited trapped emotions from you, they also released from your children as well. So the first inherited trapped emotion I found was blaming, and you inherited this from your mother. And this inherited trapped emotion of blaming, it goes back 15 generations. So to explain that really quickly, um, someone in your mother's ancestry line 15 generations ago had a very strong feeling of blaming. And so she was unable to release that. So that got passed down the generational line until it got passed to you. And so sometimes with these inherited trapped emotions, because we're holding them in our body 24 hours, 7 days a week, it can be easy for us to feel these trapped emotions and to kind of like slip into them. So for you, I don't know if blaming is a trapped emotion that you regularly feel, whether that's maybe just blaming yourself or maybe blaming people around you. So I went ahead and I released that trapped emotion for you. The next inherited trapped emotion I found was worthless, and you inherited this from your father. And this inherited trapped emotion goes back 25 generations. So if you can just imagine that, that inherited trapped emotion just traveled generation after generation after generation for 25 generations until it got to you. And then you passed that on to your children. But like I said, since I released that from you today, that also released from your children. The next inherited trapped emotion here is humiliation, and you inherited that from your father as well, and that went back 35 generations. The next inherited trapped emotion here is conflict, and you inherited this from your mother, and this went back 44 generations. So, as you can see, these inherited trapped emotions, they can go back for several generations. The next inherited trapped emotion that I found here um, is shock. And you inherited that from your father, and that went back 54 generations. So again, I went ahead and I released that from you. And then those were for today, all of the inherited trapped emotions right now that your body felt comfortable in releasing. So in future emotion code sessions, there may be, my guess is that there are, more inherited trapped emotions that I could find and that I could go ahead and release for you. So there you go, Anna. I hope that you found that helpful. I hope that you found that interesting. If you have any questions at all, just go ahead and type them into the comments, and I'll be happy to answer them for you. And then I'm also available for that 30-minute introductory emotion code session as well, if that is something that you would like to do with me.
So thank you so much, Nick. Right now, I'm going to do muscle test. Who is going to be the kid of Cecilia, of Ana Cecilia, that I'm going to choose to work with today. So let me ask him. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to choose Ivana. I'm going to choose Ivana to work with. So I'm going to ask, please, everyone to have a moment of silence. And we are going to ask for help to work with Ivana. Thank you. So let's see. Yeah, I'm connected with Ivana. Yes. And I can work with Ivana. Yes. Okay. So let's see, Ivana.
All right, Paola. And while you're working with Ivana, I'll go ahead and I'll talk a little bit more about trapped emotions.
Oh, yeah.
So, like I was saying, when we trap an emotion, whether it's our emotion or whether it's an inherited emotion, that happens because we've gone through rather some sort of stressful or overwhelming or traumatic experience, or our ancestors have. And so when we go through that experience, basically your body is in survival mode. And that's all it really cares about is just surviving the experience. So because of that, um, it's not normal to experience a whole bunch of emotions in a overwhelming or traumatic experience and be able to identify them and release them one by one. Because again, our body in that situation, it's just focused on survival. So these emotions, if they're not released, then they have to go somewhere. And basically, they will get stuck in the body as a trapped emotion. And so a trapped emotion, it is a literal ball of energy about the size of your fist that will get stuck in your body. And these trapped emotions, they can get stuck anywhere in the body. So as I've mentioned already, they can get stuck or trapped around the heart, forming like an energetic wall around the heart called the heart wall that 97% of the population has. They can also get trapped in different muscles. And when we have these trapped emotions, our body is going to see them as interference. And when they get trapped in muscles, they can contribute to acute or chronic pain. And if you are someone dealing with acute or chronic pain, or maybe even your child is, when you go to the doctor or when you bring your child to the pediatrician, these trapped emotions, they are not going to show up on an X-ray, on a CAT scan, or on an MRI, but they are most definitely there. So that's one of the gifts of the emotion code work is that both Paola and I, we can identify what these trapped emotions are. We can kind of tune into your subconscious mind and we can find out what these trapped emotions are and release them in literally a matter of seconds. So other areas that trapped emotions can get released are in the organs and the glands. So if you're someone that maybe struggles with constipation, maybe either you or your child does, maybe you have some sort of thyroid condition. Maybe you or your child is suffering from asthma. Again, these trapped emotions can get stuck in the organs or the glands, and they can imbalance those organs or those glands. And so they can contribute to issues such as constipation or a thyroid issue or, asthma, for example. These trapped emotions can also get stuck in the bones as well, and they can prevent the bones from properly healing, or they can slow the healing process. So, one of my friends a couple of days ago, her child was on a trampoline, fell off the trampoline and broke his arm. And, they of course had to rush him to the hospital and, he had to get a cast and, he's doing well, which I'm really happy to hear about. But when you go through that experience as a child of a broken arm, you're going to feel a bunch of trapped emotions, or a bunch of emotions rather. And those emotions can get stuck in that broken arm. And the body is going to see those trapped emotions in the broken arm as interference. And as long as those trapped emotions are vibrating in the bone, in the broken arm, they might slow down the body's healing process to heal that broken arm. So if you can um, help your child to get a couple of emotion code sessions to release the emotions that happened when they fell off the trampoline, if you can release the emotions that they felt with going through the pain and the shock of their broken arm, if you can release the trapped emotions of them being in the hospital, of maybe getting their broken arm reset, all of that can go a long way in helping the body to heal the broken arm and also in helping the child to just release the traumatic experience, the traumatic feelings and emotions of going through an experience like that. So you can really start to see, and I would also add to release the trapped emotions that the parent has felt through that experience as well. So again, you can just see how important this emotion code work is for parents and for children to really get it done, um, together. So, again, if this is something that resonates with you, if this is something that fits for you, just go ahead and type a one in the comments and let us know.
Thank you, Nick. Well, I finished working with Ivana. I chose Ivana to work, and I have asked if Ivana was having a heart wall. The answer was yes. I have measured Ivana heart wall, and it's 644 meters, the thickness of that heart wall. After that, I asked about some important hardware trap emotions that I could release for Ivana today. And the hardware trap emotions that I found in Ivana and that I released from her was creative insecurity. Is the first one that I found in Ivana. Creative insecurity is very related when we want to do something new, when we want to start something new, to do something new. I found this when she was 2 years old. Then I found a horrible trap emotion of unsupported. Unsupported is that she has not felt support. That's the horrible of unsupported. I found this when she was 1 year and a half. Then I released horrible of shock. And this horrible of shock I found right now when she is 3 years old. Then it has shown up and absorb emotion in her heart wall of grief. It seems that you, Ana Cecilia, as a mother, you went through some very painful situation when Ivana was 2 years old because she has absorbed that from you. Grief is very related with someone we love pass away. Could be a person, could be a pet that we have, but also it could be exactly this same pain that we can feel when someone pass away. It can be from any other event. So it seems that perhaps when Ivana was 2 years old, you felt a lot of grief because she has absorbed that from you, and she absorbed that in her heart wall. And then also, I have asked about the prenatal trap emotions. I found prenatal trap emotions on Ivana. And the first prenatal trap emotions, remember that prenatal trap emotions are emotions that, in this case, because I'm working with Ivana and Cecilia is the mother, so it seems that when Cecilia was pregnant from Ivana, she felt these emotions. Something happened to her that she felt these emotions, and Ivana, as a little sponge in Ana Cecilia womb, she absorbed that, so she born with that. Now we have released that from her. If what I found it resonates with you, Ana Cecilia, because you felt that way, we don't need to know the story. Only you can type yes, it resonates, because normally when we release the trap emotions, always I said it will ring a bell. I mean, the person will identify the event. So the first trap emotion that I found on Ivana, that is a prenatal, it's helplessness. Helplessness is like is that perhaps you felt like powerless when you were pregnant from Ivana. Powerless is normally powerless, of being unable to help ourselves. So perhaps these will resonate with you, perhaps not. But I found this prenatal trap emotion in Ivana. Then I found also a prenatal trap emotion of indecisiveness. For me, indecisiveness is when we want to do something. In this case, you were feeling indecisiveness. It's when we want to do something, but we felt like indecisiveness. Indecisiveness is, for example, shall I travel to Europe, or shall I travel to United States, or shall I start a diet tomorrow or next week? So indecisiveness, that is a type of indecisiveness that I'm talking. So it seems that you were having a lot of indecisiveness, but it was a very something very strong was going on with you, because Ivana absorbed that from you, and she born with prenatal trap emotion of indecisiveness. Also, Ana Cecilia, I found lack of control. Lack of control is like we lose the control. I mean, it's something that happened that we totally and completely we lose the control. Could be that you lose the control because one person, because you lose the control in a certain situation that you went through when you were pregnant from Ivana, because you were feeling very heavy, very strong this emotion, and Ivana absorbed that from you, and she born with that. That's the reason it's prenatal. And the other prenatal trap emotion that I found in Ivana is low self-esteem. So it seems that you were feeling like that exactly you were feeling like that. But as I said, it was so strong because the baby inside the mom womb absorbed this. Some people I have seen that they get very worried when we release the prenatal trap emotions, and then say, "Oh, but I was not feeling like this because my baby." No, you don't need to feel these emotions related with your baby. It's like you went through some events, some situations when you were pregnant that they were so strong, and then Ivana absorbed from you. I have listened a podcast from an other energy healing, and where he talks about the prenatal, and I really like this. He says that it's a certain place in China that when the woman is pregnant, the man takes a lot of care of the woman. I mean, always talking very nice to the woman, saying nice words, and taking a lot of care with the woman. As well, the woman takes a lot of care when she's pregnant. They do a lot of meditation, and they know that they need to be happy and they need to be tranquil. Why? Because they know that babies, they can absorb the energy of the mothers. As well, they take care a lot of the way they eating. So this is what I found in little Ivana. If this resonates, yes, tell us, that we would like to know. Thank you so much.
Awesome, Paola. I think it's so important that kids get these trapped emotions released.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So, thank you so much, everyone. If you need help or someone you know needs help, please, you can send a message to Nick Kidawski, or you can send a message for me. If it's someone that has never experienced the emotion code, we are going to be very happy to book a session for that person and to work with that person. And remember, we can also work in kids. Well, also I work with animals. You work also with animals, Nick?
I honestly don't have like a service for it, but if someone does have an animal like a dog or a cat or a fish, I don't know,
Yeah.
I'd be happy just to do like a complimentary session for their animal if they if they book a session with me.
Okay. Yes,
Yeah.
because it's practically the same as we work with humans when we work with animals. I
Mhm.
feel like a very nice and beautiful. Oh, by the way, I was having, this is a very small story that I'm going to share. I've been working with a little dog, and at the end of the session, I was having some time extra because the owner booked 3 appointments. And then I was saying to the owner, do you want me to check if your pet has a hair wall? And Nick, the pet was having a hair wall. So
Yeah.
and it was very small, the hair wall. I released the hair wall, and then I post that testimony because my client told me, oh, Paola, it's awesome how this little one has changed after you released the hair wall, because the little dog was kind of little aggressive,
Mhm.
a little aggressive, and she told me, oh, that has disappeared. So animals can have a hair wall also.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, sometimes when animals are born and,
Uh-huh.
just when they're growing up, they sometimes have, stressful experiences that they go through as well, just like people. So, they can trap those emotions around their heart.
Exactly, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So thank you so much for everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Next Sunday as well, at the same time, 11 o'clock Mountain Time, 12 o'clock Central Time, we are going to be here, and it's a very nice topic that we are going to work with. Do you want to tell them, Nick?
Yeah, sure, Paola. So, we're gonna go ahead and work with aches and pain. So, um, through my experience, through Paola's experience working with clients, when clients come to us in physical pain, we find that that pain is due to trapped emotions that they're holding in their body.
Mhm.
And once those trapped emotions are identified and released, it's very common for the pain to quickly reduce, or I've even seen it to be just completely eliminated.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
So next show we're going to work with pain and aches. So if you are having any kind of pain in your physical body, this type of pain that perhaps you have a long time with this physical pain, could be your lower back, it can be your knee, your foot, your ankles, your wrist, your shoulders, your neck, or you have a short time with that physical discomfort. Perhaps it starts like 2 weeks ago or 1 month ago. We are going to be very happy. Nick is going to choose one volunteer. I'm going going to choose another volunteer. And next weekend, on Sunday, we are going to work with pain. So if you have any trouble with pain, we're very happy to help you. If you know someone that needs help, I mean, tell them they can try with us emotion code session in the live show, and we're going to be very happy to help.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I love working with people that are dealing with pain, you know, because yeah, it's just I've seen some pretty incredible results.
Yes. So, anything else that you want to add today, Nick?
No, you know, Paola, I think it was a really good show. You know, again, I think it's so important for kids and parents to you know, to get their heart walls released, to get their trapped emotions released, and that is going to strengthen the bond, strengthen the connection between them, and also just set them up to have like a really amazing relationship for the rest of their life.
Yes, yes, of course. Yes, of course. So thank you so much for everyone being here. Thank you to Roberto, Santiago, Dinora that they are hanging now. Thank you so much. So see you everyone next weekend. Have a beautiful Sunday. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. We really appreciate you.
Goodbye. Have a beautiful Sunday. Thank you
Bye.
for Sunday, you too, Nick. Thank you. Goodbye, everyone.